All right. So welcome grade ones to drama class. Welcome grade ones to drama class. Today we're going to be reading a story called Where the Wild Things Are. Before we start reading this story, how many of us have ever read or heard this story before? Okay, so great. So quite a few of us. So what I really enjoy about this story, boys and girls, is that it uses a lot of imagery to tell the story with its characters and its setting. Just how many of us know what the word imagery means? All right, can someone tell us what the word imagery means? Yes. So we are going to start by warming up our imaginary brains, and this includes using all of our senses to really understand a scene or a story. And our senses include our sight, our smell, our taste, our touch, and our hearing, okay? So those are the 5 senses. So I want us now to go and close our eyes, find somewhere comfortable to sit, and I want us to picture a forest in our minds, a forest that is full of wildlife and green space, okay? So full of animals and wildlife. Let's picture this forest. So picture it now. I want us to take some deep breaths. And while picturing it, I want us to think, what does this forest look like that we're imagining? All right, good. And what does it sound like? What do we hear in this forest? What does it feel like in the forest? What do we feel? Do we feel leaves? Do we feel open space? And what does it smell like? So really use all of your senses in order to understand the scenery of a forest, okay? All right, now everyone, if we can slowly open our eyes. All right, so I will now take you on a tour of what the forest I saw looked like. So it was full of trees and I could smell a firewood nearby. The smell of the firewood reminded me of home. I could hear birds chirping up in the trees and the wind howling as I hiked up and down the trails. There's a path that goes down through the forest that goes from one end to another. So this was the forest that I imagined using guided imagery. So I used all my senses to really picture a forest in my mind. So now, boys and girls, what we're going to do, grade ones, is I want you to turn and talk to your shoulder partner about the forest that you imagined in your head. And I want you to somehow convey this forest to them. So maybe you just want to describe it to them using imagery, or maybe you want to use movements, whatever you want to do to just kind of talk about the image that you saw in your brains. And then we're going to maybe get a couple pairs to share what images that they saw. Guided imagery.